quickly as the president decides to change his mind and pick up his personal cell phone and make a call to his once very close ally here. And there's still a lot of really key storylines and developments and implications from their relationship and just how quickly it has unraveled here.
Yeah, Monica, there are some real potential consequences here, right? Especially for Musk, for his company SpaceX. What happens if they don't patch things up?
And we saw very quickly that one of the places that President Trump went to online was this idea that he does have potentially the power or ability to cancel some of those key government contracts that are essential to Elon Musk's businesses. So we know that that's one key area that, again, they have lowered a little bit of the temperature and the tensions on, but that's still hanging out there. And then there is this question of the red Tesla that's parked not very far from where I am standing here that staffers actually had been using for some kind of joyrides around Washington, D.C. that now the president says he is looking to get rid of at this point.
So, Monica, how could this ongoing feud ultimately impact negotiations over what Trump has called his big, beautiful bill?
And that is really at the center of a lot of the disagreement here, because once Elon Musk started to really criticize that legislation, given that he was trying to work on slashing government spending, that really raises a major issue, which is what role he could play, not just for this bill, but in future elections, since he was so key and played a large role in the last one. He has said that he will personally work to try to unseat Republicans who back that bill. And so that is another really key part to all of this, and one that certainly the White House will be watching very closely. Kate and Clay.
All right, Monica Alba, thank you. And by our check, this is a welcome back for you, so welcome back.
Oh, we lost her.
We lost her.
Oh, there she is.
Welcome back from maternity leave.
Thanks,
we missed
guys.
you, but hope the little one's doing well.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Congrats. Now we'll move on to jurors hearing again from an ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs as part of his federal sex trafficking trial in New York City. A quick warning to our viewers, her testimony includes disturbing allegations of sexual abuse.
The woman who is testifying under the pseudonym Jane recounted her relationship with Combs, which began back in 2020. Jane said she feared losing her home, which Combs paid for, if she did not participate in so-called hotel nights or drug-fueled sexual encounters with strangers. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges in the case.
NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas is outside the courthouse in New York City once again. Chloe, Jane's testimony today about these hotel nights was strikingly similar to previous testimony from singer Cassie Ventura, another ex-girlfriend. What else did Jane talk about in front of the jury today?
Hey there, guys. So when I was in the courtroom this morning, it really stood out to me that Jane was talking about the duration of these hotel nights, which are also known as freak-offs, the shortest lasting 12 hours, and that on average they would last 24 to 30 hours, and the longest 3.5 days. She talked about not getting sleep during these hotel nights and being plied with drugs. We also know that several photos of these male escorts that were procured, mainly from an escort company called Cowboys for Angels, were shown to the jury today. And Jane Doe, she was weeping through her testimony multiple times along the way. The lead prosecutor, Maureen Comey, asking her if she even wanted to continue. Did she want to stop? But, obviously you can see in that courtroom sketch there, she's holding a tissue to her eye, but she said, no, I can continue. Sean Combs, he had his eyes on her the whole time. Occasionally he would be sending notes to his lawyers, but really he was staring straight ahead.
Chloe, do we have any sense of how the defense is going to approach cross-examination?
So we know that it could take several days. The prosecutors could wrap up their direct line of questioning with Jane as early as this afternoon. And then you could see her on the stand for up to 5 days, which would mean that if she's done officially on Wednesday, could the prosecutors call a few more witnesses before they rest and hand things over to Diddy's team to put on their side of the case?
All right, Chloe Malas for us. Chloe, thank you.
Harvard has just won a critical battle in its fight with the Trump administration.
Last night, a federal judge temporarily blocked President Trump's executive order aimed at restricting visas for Harvard's international students. The Trump administration is accusing the school of not addressing anti-Semitism on campus. Take a listen to what Secretary of Education Linda McMahon told NBC's Vaughn Hilliard about Harvard in an exclusive new interview.
Harvard's one of the most prestigious universities in the country, and for them to have suppressed anti-Semitism for as long as they did and not make any changes. The president was very clear about the actions we were to take, and so we did take those actions.
Joining us now from Harvard, NBC News correspondent and host of the Weekend Primetime on MSNBC, Antonia Hilton. Antonia, there's so much uncertainty for Harvard students right now. I believe Alumni Weekend is going on. What's the latest we're hearing, both from people on campus, but also the Trump administration?
Yeah, Zincle, a lot absolutely going on. This is supposed to be a celebratory weekend. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of alums, faculty here who have been planning to celebrate with each other and meet. Much of the conversation this weekend is about this battle with the Trump administration. And look, you know, they've known that something like this has been coming for many weeks now, going back to early April when the Trump administration originally sent a list of demands to Harvard, similar to the list of demands they sent to Columbia and other schools. But this latest move around the international community has made it, has kind of shifted the conversation here. This campus that at one point was divided over issues around the war in Israel and Gaza, they're now incredibly united around this feeling that they need to protect not just international students, but really the academic freedom and the culture of the school. Take a listen to a conversation I had with Jason Furman. He's an economics professor here, and he was the former chair of the Council for Economic Advisors under President Obama.
Foreign students are just built into the DNA at Harvard. It's impossible to imagine our institution without the enormous contributions that they make. As an economist, I can tell you that not having foreign students at Harvard is going to make the United States poorer. These are people who come, they pay tuition into the United States. Some of the most talented ones stay here. They invent things, they create jobs, they make this country better for all of us.
The reality, though, and even the Trump administration would admit this isn't really about foreign students and their presence on campus. It's about wanting to get Harvard back at the negotiating table. Right now, though, the posture of the vast majority of people here is that Harvard needs to stay in the fight and on the legal front and not negotiate, guys.
All right, Antonia Hilton for us up at Harvard. Antonia, thank you so much. Time now for some consumer news. With summer just around the corner, millions of air conditioners just got recalled.
And you could soon get your hands on the original Birkin bag. Bertha Coombs joins us now with today's CNBC Money Minute. Hey, Bertha. Uh-oh. Bertha, it looks like we might be having some audio issues. All right.
Yeah, we're having some audio issues.
Yeah, so we'll circle back to that. But coming up, Tennessee's Most Wanted is already in stripes. We're talking about the race to find this zebra on the loose after